morning, St. Martin. Welcome to TVCARiB In The Morning. I'm Ashana Haley. The Caribbean continues to make waves on the international art scene, this time through the powerful medium of cinepoetry. The Sundering is Difficult, a short film by Caribbean artists Lysanne Charles and Ras Mosera, has been selected for the competition section of the Netherlands Poëzie Film Festival in Zutphen, the Netherlands. The film will be featured as part of the Winter Toon Program 2025. This marks a significant step forward for the creative duo. Last year, their work was showcased at the same festival, but outside the competition. Now, it's competing for top honors, an acknowledgement of the film's growing international recognition. Based on a poem Charles wrote nearly 20 years ago, the cinepoem delves deep into the emotional ties between mothers and daughters. It examines themes of loss, legacy, and maternal influence, serving as a tribute to Charles's late great-grandmother and grandmothers, women she describes as the foundation of her resilience and love. The project came to life after Charles won the inaugural Caribbean Cinepoetry Contest, which provided the platform to transform her written words into moving imagery. Charles, a queer Caribbean activist and artist, teamed up with Mosera, a celebrated visual artist from St. Lucia, to craft a story that speaks across cultures and generations. Together, they blend poetry and visual art to produce narratives that are as striking emotionally as they are visually. The Sundering is Difficult also forms part of Charles's debut poetic album, Prophecy, which showcases the duo's distinctive creative chemistry. The festival's jury will review the competition entries over the coming weeks, with the award ceremony set for November 1st, 2025. Both artists say they're honored to see their work continue to resonate with audiences around the world. Viewers interested in experiencing the cinepoem can find it now on YouTube. There's something new and flavorful on the horizon for St. Martin's culinary scene. The St. Martin Hospitality and Trade Association and the St. Martin Tourism Bureau have announced the return of St. Martin flavors set for June 2026. This year's theme, Beyond the Plate, goes further than just celebrating great food. It's about blending cuisine with the island's creative spirit. For the first time, participating restaurants will adopt an artist. Chefs will partner with local painters, sculptors, and performers to create dining experiences that combine food, art, and culture. Visitors can look forward to mural walks in Phillipsburg, where they can enjoy street art and sample dishes from local restaurants along the way, turning the town into one big open-air gallery and tasting trail. Mei-Ling Chun, director of the Tourism Bureau, says the expanded concept strengthens St. Martin's reputation as a top Caribbean destination, offering visitors what she calls a sensory journey through taste, art, and music. The shift to June is also strategic. Organizers say local restaurateurs suggested the change to help extend the tourism season and avoid clashing with the busy November calendar. The event will also complement the Festival de la Gastronomie on the French side later in the year, giving the island two major culinary showcases annually. Throughout June, restaurants across the island will feature special signature dishes at reduced prices, each paired with works from local artists. Expect a feast of flavors, from traditional Caribbean favorites to modern fusion cuisine, all set against the backdrop of St. Martin's vibrant cultural scene. Organizers say it's an event for everyone, locals, visitors, and food lovers alike, and a true celebration of what makes the island unique. For more information, visit stmartinflavors.com or email events@shta.com. Rising too quickly from bed can cause dizziness, falls, and injuries in the elderly. This is often due to orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure when standing up, decreased balance and mobility, weakened muscles, and reduced reflexes. Here are some safe rising techniques. When waking up, take a few deep breaths and stretch in bed. Sit up slowly. Gradually sit up, using arms for support if needed. Sit on the edge of the bed with legs dangling, taking a few moments to adjust. Use a steady object, e.g., bed frame, walker, for support while standing. Take small steps. Take slow, small steps, ensuring balance before moving further. Some environmental modifications you can do is ensure the floor is clear of tripping hazards. Install bed rails or grab bars for support. Use night lights or motion-sensing lights to illuminate the area. Depending on the person's age, have a caregiver assist with getting out of bed if needed. Utilize walkers, canes, or other devices to aid with balance and mobility. So, in conclusion, rise slowly and deliberately from bed to avoid dizziness and falls. Use support devices and caregiver assistance as needed. Modify the environment to reduce tripping hazards and improve safety. Some of the world's biggest comedians are under fire for taking part in the first ever Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia, running from September 26 to October 9th. The lineup includes major names like Jimmy Carr, Jack Whitehall, and U.S. stars Dave Chappelle and Louis C.K. But the event has sparked a wave of criticism. Human rights groups and fellow comedians accuse participants of taking part in what's being called comedy washing, a way for Saudi Arabia to improve its global image while continuing to restrict free speech and women's rights. Human Rights Watch says the festival is meant to distract from the country's poor human rights record, a criticism that stings even more as it coincides with the 7th anniversary of journalist Jamal Khashoggi's murder. Comedian David Cross condemned his peers, saying there's not enough money to justify performing for what he called a repressive regime. Others, like Atsuko Okatsuka, revealed they were invited to perform but turned it down after learning about content restrictions that limited what comedians could say, a move critics called hypocritical, given the performers' usual defense of free expression. Reports suggest the paychecks are substantial, with Tim Dillon claiming he was offered $375,000 for a single show and others allegedly earning up to $1.6 million. Dillon later said his gig was canceled after he made remarks about Saudi Arabia's human rights record. Some comedians have since responded to the backlash. Louis C.K. admitted he had mixed feelings, but said he avoided political or religious material. Bill Burr described his experience in Saudi Arabia as positive. Meanwhile, Jessica Kirson expressed regret for performing, saying she used her platform to highlight her LGBTQ+ identity and pledged to donate her earnings to a human rights organization. The comedy festival is part of Saudi Arabia's larger push to rebrand itself as a global entertainment hub, a campaign that also includes hosting major sporting events ahead of the 2034 FIFA World Cup. Thank you for watching today's edition of TVCARiB In The Morning. Until our next edition, have a great day.